This is the EWN Podcast Network.
Ever wondered how you could turn your side hustle into a full-time gig and spend more time together?
Hi, I'm Vikki, a #1 best-selling author.
And I'm John, a retired Los Angeles police officer. Welcome to Dig the Well, where we help couples navigate the world of business.
We've been married for 35 years, and because we built a successful side business, John retired 9 years earlier than he originally planned from the Los Angeles Police Department after 25 years on the job. Now we spend more time together, and we want to help couples like you do the same.
Join us as we help you overcome common obstacles, and we show you how to make extra income without sacrificing family time.
Ready to dig deep and build your well? Let's get started.
Welcome back to Dig the Well. Vikki here. I am so excited that you're with us today. I have a very special friend that I met through eWomen Network. And many of you maybe don't even know about eWomen Network. And let me just tell you really quickly, we are Dig the Well is part of the EWN Podcast Network. And you might not have realized, but EWN means eWomen. It stands for eWomen, and it's a group of women, 500,000 strong, all over the U.S. with 118 chapters. And we get the privilege of meeting each other on Zoom every Monday. And it's a wonderful time that we get to meet fellow entrepreneurs, plus other times as well. We have a big conference every year. And at eWomen, we're all about lifting each other as we climb. And also we have this motto that is 1 million women each achieving $1 million in annual revenue. And my guest today is the perfect entrepreneur to have on Dig the Well, because you all know that we're all about multiple streams of income. We're all about digging the well before you need the water, starting maybe a new venture, all the while you're still with your original venture that you've been successful at, but maybe you want to pivot. And so I couldn't think of a better guest to have on today. And so before I introduce LadieZee, I am going to read a really special bio of her, so you guys know all of her amazing goodness that she brings to the table. So, without further ado, I am going to share with you my new friend, Zenaida LadieZee Martinez. She is a faith-based self-care mentor, retreat host, and beauty industry veteran with nearly 3 decades of experience as a hairstylist. And I'm excited about that. I can't wait to chat with you, LadieZee, about hair. After years of helping women look their best on the outside, she felt a calling to help them feel inner peace and divine renewal on the inside. Through her brand, LadieZee, she's created a sanctuary for women who are stressed, weary, or spiritually drained. Isn't that like a lot of us, right? Guiding them to rest, release, and receive through what she calls be still time. I love that. Rooted in Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. Her approach fuses faith, wellness, and intentional self-care. I love that too. I'm all about self-care. She teaches that peace and connection with God don't require fancy retreats or expensive routines, just consistency, intention, and surrender. So, drum roll, please. Please help me welcome LadieZee. We're so excited that you're here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's wonderful. Yay. It's wonderful. And I am a God's girl. You guys have heard that on this podcast with John and I both. I mean, he's a God's man,
Mhm, mhm.
God's guy, and I'm a God's girl. And maybe you've listened to the episode Jesus in the Boardroom. If you haven't, go back and listen to that.
Yeah, it's
But
really
we
good.
include God daily in our business. And so, LadieZee, that's so cool. But before we jump into that part of your journey, I'd love to hear more about your hairstylist journey, 30 plus years, 3 decades.
Yeah.
Tell us how that started.
Well, without giving my age away, I started when I was a teenager. I fell in love with hair and makeup and fashion when I was a kid, and it was organic. My grandmother was a seamstress, and she did fashion shows. My mother was a model in fashion shows, so I grew up in that place, in that world. And then I just came into loving hair and makeup just on my own, and I went to beauty school. I'll say 3 days after I graduated, I found I was pregnant with my first son. So things kinda got shifted there.
Yeah.
After he was born, about 6 months later, I found I was pregnant with my second one. So
Wow. Wow.
so I was at home, for a long time with my kids, and those 2 the first 2, have special needs. They both have autism, and so it was
Mm,
always, um it was always interesting trying to work and do hair. I'm sorry,
yeah.
work and be a parent, I should say, do
Right.
hair and be a parent. So
Right.
I did hair at home on occasion, but for the most part, I had to kind of put that on the back burner for a little while until they went to school. So that's
Yeah.
how it started.
And they both have autism.
They do, and then I have one more little one that came 5 years later, and, she's definitely got her stuff too. She's got some anxiety issues and things, and so it's never a dull moment with her either. She's 16, so, there's that thing anyway.
Yeah. And a girl, if
And a
we should,
girl, all of that, so
because
yeah.
guys are such low maintenance compared to, at least that's what I found with my daughter and my son.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. Boys
Yeah.
are definitely different. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, are your sons high functioning? Like, how are they?
So
Um,
my oldest is a boy, my second one is a girl, and,
oh,
my oldest has, more like Asperger's, so he's very high functioning, very
okay.
smart, very bright.
Yeah. Right.
Actually to the point where he couldn't get services because he was too high functioning, basically is what they were
Wow.
saying.
Wow.
But then, my second one, she didn't speak her first words until she was about 5, and so the first 5 years were a lot, and she got a little, what is it called? An speech augmentative device, I think that's what they called it.
Oh, right, right, right.
Um, and so she had that for about 5 to 7 years, and that's really what helped her start to talk. And so now she does talk, but it's more like short sentences. We're saying like maybe 3 to 5 word sentences. But she can
Right.
ask for her wants and needs now. She's come a long way, and she just started her first job.
Oh,
And
great.
my son is going to pharmacy tech school right now. So they're both doing really
Nice.
well.
Oh, that makes sense. Being super smart to go
Yeah.
to pharmacy tech school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's fitting in perfectly.
yeah, that's great. Wow, he'll
Yeah.
get everything correct, I bet.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's really how amazing. So did the well, I know I love about being an entrepreneur, we set our own hours.
Yes.
So, right, with having different challenges with your kids and probably a lot of doctor's appointments or some
Um,
kind of appointments,
yeah,
right?
like therapy appointments, special, what is it called?
Yeah.
Speech therapy appointments,
So that
all of that
helped
stuff.
you being able to set your own hours, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You almost
To the
couldn't
point.
have a job,
Oh,
a
yeah.
traditional job. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And what made you, I'm sure listening to God, but what made you transition to what you're doing now with these retreats and the self care, which hair is self care, but now doing what you're doing? What helped you transition there? What was the catalyst for that?
Well, absolutely going through my own transition, basically.
Right.
Um, I so as you heard, I have the 3 kids. At the time, I had 3 jobs, and one of those jobs was taking care of my grandmother, who was on her last days, her last years.
Oh.
And so she took a lot of work. I lived around the corner from her. And so I would be there 2 o'clock in the morning when she fell type stuff. So it was a constant between the kids and working in 3 jobs and my grandmother, it was a lot.
It's a
So
lot.
it
Wow.
was a lot. And on the side of it, I was going through a divorce.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
So I had back spasms, I got high blood pressure, you name it. My hair was falling out,
Right.
it was just my whole system kind of shut down, insomnia, everything. I was a mess. And I had a I had a moment where I realized I needed to change something, but I didn't know what it was. And so I went into what I call a cave time, and I had a weekend with God, and I just shut off
Mm.
everything. I turned off I turned off my phone. Didn't watch any TV or internet or anything unless it was God related. And I just
Mm.
did that for a weekend. And in that weekend, God revealed to me my purpose.
Right.
And he showed me this thing. And I'll admit, for about 2 years, I was looking for a building.
Oh.
And God kept telling me over and over again, there's no building. You are the building.
Whoa.
There's
That's
no
cool.
building. Stop looking for a building. You are the building. And it was very hard for me to hear that because I'm like, there has to be a building. You showed me a building and you showed me a building. Like,
Yeah.
what
And
do
the
you mean there's no
old
building?
yeah, and the old way of doing business, you had to have
A
a
building.
location. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so it took me a long time to surrender and really just hear him. And so that surrendering time was when that be still time kind of started. I
Uh,
had to really start taking care of myself. It's because I was so stressed out that I couldn't get my mind to settle. I couldn't get space
mm.
to hear his voice. I had so
Yes.
many things going on back and forth, and he gave me a purpose, but I didn't know how to get there because,
Yeah. Right,
there's so
right.
much
You just
happening.
yeah, you can't make
Yeah, and
way. Yeah.
exactly. So I just had to really come to a place of stopping. Now, what I really wanted to do was go on spa days, but s
Yeah.
with the
I
3
love
kids.
spa days.
Yes, I love spa
Yeah.
days too, but, with 3 kids and, I didn't have it. I was
Yeah.
single mommy, and it just wasn't
No.
happening, that was not in the budget to have a spa day.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
So
It's hundreds a couple $100 just for the
exactly,
massage, right? Let alone
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, so I started doing some research about, like, herbs and oils and things, and I really started getting into the natural wellness stuff, and I
Yeah.
just went in my kitchen and just started making stuff. I'm like, "I'm just gonna do
Mm.
it."
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty much what happened is I started making things to heal myself,
Love
and
that.
as I was doing that, I realized that something was really changing. God was changing
Mhm.
me in that time.
Mm.
I realized that I needed to basically slough off, if you wanna say, my old life
Right.
to receive the new one.
Right.
So
Totally.
I started
Totally.
doing a regular cleansing process with him, and it started with this moment in the shower, and it started with a moment in the mirror where I saw myself in the mirror, and I realized that I was not well.
Uh-uh.
And I I went in the shower, and I just started praying, and I just started
Mm.
scrubbing off everything.
Yeah.
And at that moment, so I just kinda just felt the Holy Spirit take over, if you wanna say,
Yeah. I
and
totally can feel
he
that or see that.
yeah, and it
Yeah,
was just like
happening.
it was a releasing moment, it was a
Ah,
moment of like almost like a
like
full body declaration, a full body
uh,
communion kind of a thing, saying, "I'm here, Lord,"
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm ready, I'm open, do what you will, you know?
Right.
And
Right.
I was just done trying to figure it out on my own. I couldn't. Obviously,
Right.
I was killing myself.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I have an issue with perfectionism. I'll say I'm a recovering one, but I'm still working on it.
Right. Don't we all I feel like almost everybody, right? But yeah.
Yeah, so that was part of my issue is I had this picture in my mind of what I thought a perfect life, perfect family looked like.
Yeah.
And with 2 special needs kids, that
Yeah.
was that's not what the picture was, you know?
Right.
So,
Right.
I had to really come to a place of loving my life in a new way, seeing
Right.
myself in a new way. And
I
that's how
love that.
Peterbilt was born.
I love that. So, did you kind of reflect in that moment that, wow, I cannot be the only woman or person going through this? There's
Exactly.
other people that need this as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly that. So what
Wow.
happened was, my one of my best friends at the time, she had 6 kids and going through her own situation with relationships and things too. And she had her own cleaning business, and so she was very busy herself. And so the 2 of us said, "You know what? We need refreshment. We need to do something with ourselves." I mean, it took
Right.
months for us to even just do our toes, it was that kind of life, you know? And so when we got together, we would get beautiful food. Like she would bring a little something, I would bring a little something like lobster tails and mashed
Oh,
potatoes. And, we would have
yeah.
some wine and we would soak our feet and listen to music and just laugh and just
Right.
have that girl time just to just
Yes.
breathe and just get it out. And we couldn't do it enough, like
Right.
we didn't have that much time in our busy lives, but we tried to make it at least every 3 months,
Yeah.
to just really take time to just stop and just let go of
Right.
the noise, and it
Yes.
helped us both get through some really, really hard times.
I love that. And you might not know this about me, but I'm a police wife and I wrote a book and it became a #1 bestseller and it was to help fellow police wives. But
Mhm.
one of the big things that I discovered similar to what you're saying just on my own is that I had gotten rid of my girlfriends for one, and
Mhm.
two was I wasn't doing self-care. I was just giving all to the marriage, all to the kids, and I had cut my girlfriends out. I just thought that's what you did. You hunkered down, you were a
Yeah,
good wife,
yeah,
and you had your own I had my own business, so I had that to run, but I had cut out to the two like and God, let alone I still plugged into God a lot because being a police wife is scary. So I was always giving him to God. I would pray and ask God to keep him safe, that type of thing. But I
mhm,
was neglecting me. And so you are speaking to me big time because I had to figure that out too. So I can't help but think there's so many women that are cutting self-care out because they think it's expensive, right?
yeah.
And it didn't have to be. You getting together with your girlfriend didn't have to, and then you each bringing something. Yes, lobster tail could be expensive or lobster.
Well, it is now. This was about 20 years ago, so
Yeah, exactly. But those and the friendships are so necessary. That
yeah,
fellowship
definitely.
between two women, especially, and going through the same things that you guys were similar things. I know not exactly the same, but you're both having challenging times. Oh, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. And so then did you come up with the idea together to kind of or you just remember from those times you were going to now create Be
Well,
Still.
how
Yeah,
it kinda happened was that, we just started off with just the girl time stuff, and then
right.
I started going deeper into the herbs and the oils and things, and it's funny because I started trying this stuff out on my friend, and, I remember the first time she had brought another friend, so it was the 3 of us, and the first time I did this thing on them, it was like a facial type of thing I did on them. They
Right.
both were fell out. They were both asleep within, like,
Uh,
I think it was like
uh,
15, 20 minutes, because they were just in such a restful state, and when I saw
yes.
that, I was like, "Wait, this is a thing.
Yeah. It
Okay, hold on," Um,
totally.
and so then
Yeah.
after that, then, if you wanna just fast forward, I ended up going to beauty school not beauty school, business school. I went
Oh,
to the
smart.
American Business School, yeah, and because I knew I had something, but I just didn't know what to call it or
Right.
what to make
Yeah.
of it, so I did 2 years of that, and they really helped me develop it into a thing, and that thing turned into we do what they call lifted in the light parties. And so we
Oh,
get together, the girls get together and we soak our feet and we have tea and we have a still moment to just breathe. We do some breathing exercises. We put the
yeah.
essential oils on. We're just doing that aromatherapy part of it. And we're just getting still. And we're talking
Yeah.
about the importance of being still. And you get to learn about the herbs as well, what the different
Right.
herbs do. And I do a little education on what each herb does. So
Love
in that
that.
tea time, you get to make your own tea. So we have the
Oh.
different herbs there, and you're able to pick what herbs you want to add to your tea and to your scrub. And so you can clean
Oh,
inside and the outside.
love
And
it.
it's a beautiful experience. Everyone really seems to get something out of it, and you would definitely walk out in a new, refreshed place. And
That's
so
amazing.
I wanted to offer this to more people, and so I started doing it on Zoom now. And
Oh,
that's what I have coming up, but we'll talk about that.
oh,
That's why I
great.
decided to expand it out a little further because I have people that have moved to other states that are friends,
Right.
and they're like, "Wait, I wanna be
Right.
involved, I wanna be still in it," and so that's
Right.
why I'm starting to develop that now, so November 1st, I'm starting that officially to put it out to other people.
Great. And I know we're going to put the link for that for registering for that in the show notes.
Yes.
But you're making me think of all the people I know that will want to take part in this. I'm part of a woman's it's for married women and people that want to be in a relationship
Oh,
coaching program with my friend Yola Cruz, and she has us when we get on Zoom weekly. We have this weekly Zoom, tell our 3 self-care things that we've done. And this would be so great. I'm going to bring this to
yeah,
that group and say, guys, I think we should all sign up for this because I
definitely.
love the education piece that you just shared, that you're going to learn about the herbs, because I've been a clean person since I was 30. It
Oh,
was so it's been a long time where I switched all my cleaning products to clean. My skincare products are clean, just everything in our household. Anyway, but I don't know that much about what each specific herb does. And I've had friends be part of either Young Living or doTERRA,
right,
right? And they've
right.
learned. Are you part of one of those companies?
I'm not. I
Okay,
thought
yeah,
about it. Yeah, but I
yeah.
might see.
Yeah, I know, right? Maybe someday. But just knowing what each herb does or what essential oil does for you, like getting rid of a headache naturally, that's where I think a lot of people would love that education because they just don't know.
Right,
They walk into a store or online and they don't know what to buy that's going to help them. I guess they could Google it, but it's kind of nice to just be taught
right.
all in one Zoom with
Yes.
you. Some of it
Yes.
anyway.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
some of it, yeah. So we'll be
Yeah.
doing different things every month. So like this next month, we'll be soaking our feet in November. The next month, we'll be doing a facial. Another time, I'll be talking about, sleep and the importance of that because I have a sleep oil. So we'll be
That's a
talking
good
about
one.
that. And
Yeah.
so it'll be different every month. But
Right.
it's that thing that either way, I do it, or I should say, I started it mostly for myself because
Right.
I realized that I need to hold myself accountable. I have to practice what I preach.
Yeah.
And
Right. So true.
I tell people, you have to get still at least once a month. If you're a
Yeah.
caregiver, once a week at least. And
Yes. Oh my
so
gosh.
it's
Yeah.
it's something that I said, let me make the space for other people, to
Yeah.
do that. And that part is,
Definitely.
when it comes to just the still time, it's just free. I'm not charging anyone to come to
Oh,
this because I'm doing it anyway. So whether you're there or
right.
not, I'll be doing it.
That's
But,
awesome.
if you wanna use the products that I have so my products are specifically for your still time with the Lord. And
Cool.
so if you
Yeah.
want
So tell us about your products. So you've created these on your own, and you've had a lot of them for quite a while, right? Or are
yeah.
you creating new ones um,
I have a
all the time?
line. I have a line of about 10 products or so. And there's a core 7 that I use as far as the transformation process goes. It's the
Right.
core 7, and I'm turning those core 7 into a series of journals as well.
Ooh, I
So
like
that's gonna
that.
be an expanded thing. I'm working on the first one right now. Hopefully, it'll be done by the end of the year, hopefully.
Super
But
smart.
yeah, so my products are they all come under the name of Be Still, Be Healed, and
Mm,
so the brand is called Be,
yeah.
and so each product has its own name, so, like, Be
Okay.
Calm, Be Released, Be Still, Be Radiant, Be Cleansed, Be Renewed, and so these are all or Be at Rest is the sleep oil,
Yeah.
and they all have their own scripture that goes with them.
Oh, I love that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I was going to ask, do any of the blends of what you have created come from biblical, from the Bible? You know,
They
like
do.
frankincense, myrrh, you know,
Yes. I
that
actually
we
have 2 of my products have frankincense in them, yes.
Oh, funny.
Yes,
That is awesome.
'cause
That to me
frankincense,
is huge. Yeah,
yeah.
that's huge,
Yeah, and that was the
right?
thing, I did some research on the oils in the Bible, and that's how it started. I should
Yeah.
say how it really, really started is I saw the movie about Esther, and there was a part in the movie where the women were, and it's in the Bible as well, but the way they depicted it in the movie was really perfect.
Yeah.
Where the women were basically in this room, like a chamber kind of a room, and they were all just getting these beauty treatments from head to toe, and
Mhm.
they were just, and they say in the Bible that they were doing this for a year, and it was
Yeah.
because they were waiting for the king to call on them. They were all waiting for
Right.
his turn to call on them. So the Lord was telling me that I need to get his ladies ready to always be ready for whenever he
Yeah.
calls on us, you know? So if
Ooh, I
we
love
stay in a
that.
place of connection with him, if we keep our minds settled and still and renewed, then he
Yeah.
can always use us when he says, "Go pray for that person, you're ready for it.
Right.
Go over
Right.
here, you're ready for it." You don't have to get ready if you're already ready, you know?
I love that. It's so funny that you bring Esther up because I just read chapter 2 because I was doing my own just a Bible study by myself, not with other people, of Proverbs 31,
Mm,
woman, right?
yeah,
And part of the study had me go read Esther, and I
mhm.
hadn't really, I know I'd read Esther before, but, and it had me go to that exact section that you talked about
Oh,
where for the
wow.
year. So how funny that we're talking about this today because I just read this a
Yes,
couple days ago. So that's
yes.
divine intervention for
It
sure. But
is.
I love that. I love that you're pulling things from the Bible and including that in your business. I really
Yes,
do because I know that when I don't include God, my business suffers in my business. And if I
absolutely.
don't include him in my personal life suffers. Like when we forget to include him, you can tell. Like
Oh,
listeners, anyone listening to this right now, if you're struggling with something, I encourage you get back to him because he can help you with anything you're going through. And I think we women, right, we're so in the hustle and we can do it. And
yes,
women are awesome, which we are.
yes,
But if we're not still enough to like listen to what he's sharing with us, right?
right,
Or we don't even include him, we don't ask for his
right.
help.
That's the
Yeah,
spot. That's the
that's
spot.
it, right?
And because
That's
that's me,
it.
I'm a doer, you know, and I come from a
Yes.
long line of doers, and when we
Yes,
get
me
our
too.
mind set on something,
Right?
it's like
Yeah,
we go
I
and get it, we
know.
go and do it, you know, and I come from
Yes.
pretty strong women, which is not,
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with that, it's just,
Right.
if it's gotta be put in the right place and have to have
Yes,
balance, you
exactly.
know, the
Yeah.
balance is always necessary, so
I know. I love that. I love that. So the November 1st event, I know that's going to be in the show notes. So again, I'm referring to that a lot. So y'all go ahead to the show notes and find the link and register. But that's going to be a free event or is that going to cost
Oh,
something
no,
the
that's
November
free.
1st?
It's always
Oh,
free. Every month it'll
wow.
be free, and really, it's about the intention and the community. That's the
I
most thing
love
that
that.
I'm trying to focus on because, like I said, this is just, the ministry is not something I need to charge for. You know, like I said,
Yeah,
I'm
I
doing it
love that.
anyway. So we're just coming together and doing it together.
I
The
love
part that
that.
you can pay for
Is
is
your
the product
products.
part.
Yeah.
So
And you
that's what,
should. Everybody, you
yes.
should, because this is a small business owned by
Yes.
a woman, and we're all about supporting small businesses. I've been chatting, back to eWomen, Lady Z is at our chapter meetings. I don't want to say harping on it, but it is amazing how even entrepreneur women don't always shop from other entrepreneur women. They just don't think about it. It's not top
Yeah.
of mind. And so they go
Yeah.
to Nordstrom or they're going to
Yeah.
Target or wherever
Yeah.
instead of taking those same dollars, spending dollars that you're going to buy a gift for a friend and buying it from a fellow woman like LadieZee. Like, I really encourage you, anyone that's listening, let's all support each other in
Yes.
business because, yeah, it's crazy. And I think because I've been an entrepreneur for so long, I noticed that and I always try to do that. Like
Yeah.
my necklace that I'm wearing is from my friend. Well, both of these are that has her own jewelry line. It's
Oh,
Coastal
that's
Kai Design. I'll give her a shout
oh,
out. I really try to not buy, from somebody that isn't a personal business owner friend of mine. Really, I want to support them. So
yeah.
yeah. So anyway, sorry, I digress, but
No,
I
I
just,
appreciate that. Thank you.
with the holidays coming up, that what you could buy LadieZee's products and send them to a friend for Christmas. How beautiful would that be? And invite them on to one of the Zooms. That'd
Right.
be really cool, right?
Right.
So they learn how to use the products. I'm
Exactly.
sure you're going to talk about that a little bit on the Zoom.
Right, that's
Um,
exactly what it's about too, to
yeah,
give people more product knowledge as well, because
right.
I tell people you can go to Sephora to get a body,
Yeah, yeah,
but for my products, they're specifically for your still time, and so
yes,
I want people to see how to use them. That's why they're never gonna be on a Walmart shelf, because
yes,
it's just
good. Yeah,
it's a very specific process that comes
right.
from.
And I love the Bible verse that comes with each one. That's amazing, right? A verse or
Yes,
maybe a
yes,
couple.
there's Bible verses
Yeah.
on each one, and that's that
Yeah.
thing that I've noticed that after people use the products up, they'll keep the bottle or they'll keep the jar or the package because they just wanna keep that be still or that be calm. They wanna keep that up in their house somewhere. They'll keep it on their desk or, they
Right.
like to have those words and the scripture and everything right there next to them. So people are just keeping the bottles for the labels even though they're empty. But
Yeah, I totally
that takes
would.
it as a compliment for sure.
Yeah, that is something I would do. Yeah, I always want to have the scripture with it to keep
Right,
referring back to. I love
right.
that. I
Yeah.
love that. And I want to ask you a question for our listeners that I think may other entrepreneurs, because also this podcast is all about someone who's never been an entrepreneur but thinking about it, business owner but thinking about it, or they have multiple hats that they wear. They have multiple businesses, so it's for everyone. And so I'd love to ask you this question. As a business owner and a believer, how do you keep your faith at the center when the world keeps pulling you in 100 different directions? How do you do that?
Well, specifically the be still time, honestly, because
Yeah,
when I get because I am a doer, and because the world gives you so many options. I mean, especially the
right.
internet by itself, you have, I mean, YouTube University, is just
Yeah, right.
you feel like you can rule the world, and so
Yeah,
it's that thing of being able to pace yourself in that, and so the be still time honestly reroutes me back to what's important. So
right.
that's really that thing of keeping that balance is remembering why I started, keeping that
Yeah.
why always forefront, and never
Hmm.
letting that chase start taking
Right.
over. I just I refuse to chase.
Right.
So,
I love
as it
that.
stands, when I do the be still thing, I'm noticing that more and more people are coming to me. I'm finding people
Mm,
coming to me, and I'm not having to chase. People are asking me to be places instead of me saying, "Can I be there?" You know?
right. I
And
love that.
that's
Yeah.
that's the way I wanna run my business.
Right. I love that. Absolutely. So cool. Well, gosh, this has been amazing. I'm so glad we met. I
Me
just can't,
too.
the minute we talked on the phone, you guys don't know, but we chatted before, scheduling the podcast just to make sure LadieZee was a fit for our podcast and we were a fit for her, for you, LadieZee. And we connected right off the bat. And I actually think God brought us together for a reason. It's that time of year too that I think maybe some of you aren't believers and you're listening to the two of us and it's foreign. What we've been kind of sharing is a bit foreign, but you're still listening. That's big. I call that a clue. I encourage you, reach out to or look for a community, a church in your area. Find the right one, that's for sure. I don't know, LadieZee, do you agree with that? It's like,
Definitely.
you have to find the right community and don't just go to the first church and then just stick with that if you don't feel the connection.
Right.
I know, yeah, for me, my husband and I, we had to go through several to find our home. And as a Christian, someone's always going to be there as part of in the church to help guide you too as a new Christian.
Right.
So if any of you are feeling called to that, take this as the two of us nudging you to just go ahead and check it out. Like look into it or reach out to one of us, either one of us too. We'd be happy to,
Definitely. Definitely.
right?
I just wanted to add to that real quick
Yeah,
that,
please do.
a friend of mine and I were talking about how this thing that she does something similar. And we were just talking about how what we do is for Christians outside of church.
Ooh,
Because, you
yeah.
go to church and you get what you get, your fulfillment from church, but then we're kind of left on our own, after
Yeah.
that to kind of figure it out and navigate it until you go back again on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so I encourage people to have these times with the Lord on their own daily,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
way you're getting to know him on your own. It's not need you don't need the church building. Not saying that you shouldn't have that
Right.
community, but
Totally.
to have the relationship with God, it can be a one-on-one situation.
Yes. And that was huge for me because I grew up Protestant, or
Mm.
sorry, Presbyterian because I think my dad was Lutheran, my mom Methodist. Anyway, so so then we just kind of picked Presbyterian in the middle. Isn't that funny? But some of the I don't know, to me, some of the religions, and I'm not saying any of the ones I just said, some of them, I do feel like don't really talk about, or foster that personal relationship with God, like you just said. And I am a believer that we should each have our own personal relationship with Jesus, right?
Absolutely.
Ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'm with you 100%. And I think I steered away from church for a while in my 20s because I felt it's more like guilt and, and there was some shame for not going to church.
Yeah.
And so when I realized, wait, I can talk to God on my own.
Right.
He'll
Right.
speak to me. And
Absolutely.
that was huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm with you 100%. And that's what I feel like you're helping us all get back to. You're helping us have that connection with your products, with what you're doing and the verses that you're providing, because that is something that we'll do on our own when we need some still time on our own.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much. Is there any one question I didn't ask you that you were thinking, gosh, I wish you would ask me this? I really wanted to share one last parting, and it doesn't have to be. Maybe we covered everything.
Well, if I were to add anything, it's just that I've come to use these products in really hard times, like for instance, there was I had a back spasm and I didn't know why. And this was recently. This was about maybe 4 months ago. I
Mm,
had a back spasm, didn't know why, and I went into the shower and I said, "God, just show me because I can't hold on to this anymore." And so I did the body scrub, and it's called Be Renewed.
mm,
And after I did that, I noticed that this isn't just for a spa moment. This is for hard times as well. So if you are dealing with trauma or anything like that, or recounting trauma, sometimes bad memories can come up,
right.
and you really just want to be done with it. You really want to release yourself from the hold that it has on you. It's a really good process to do. If you have things that you're still bound to, that are still controlling your life, and you're saying to God, "I want to be done with this," it's a really good way to start that process. So That's the only
I
thing.
love that. I absolutely love that. And I know you spoke to someone just now listening. I'm thinking of someone now I want to go get it for because she was sharing with me she's got some trauma, and I love that. I'm going to check out all your products. So, can you tell us what your website is for ordering them?
Yes, it's berestoredinthelight.com. The website is still kind of in the process. I'm still putting some more products on there, but it's there.
Yeah,
And if you have any questions or if you want to order anything between now and when everything is up, you can just email me at
perfect.
berestoredinthelight@gmail.com. So it's all Be Restored in the
Perfect.
Light. And I
And we'll
figured,
have that in the show notes too. Yeah, we'll make
okay,
sure
awesome.
that's there too.
Great.
Awesome.
Just so
I
that you
love
know,
it.
the reason why I picked Be Restored in the Light is because I want people to already start thinking that way when they contact me. I want them to know that this is what this is about, being restored in the light. So just
I
so you know.
love that. I love all your intentionality behind everything you're doing. It's amazing and beautiful.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
beautiful.
Well, thank you
So
so much for
thank you.
having me. I appreciate this. You asked me questions no one's ever asked me before, so that was kind of cool.
Yay! I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you. And so look at
Okay.
that. Believe and be still and know. I love it. I
No.
love it. I love it. So, yay. Okay, cool. Well,
All
thank you.
right. Thank you,
Thanks.
Vikki.
This was awesome.
You.
Have a wonderful week, no matter when you're listening to this podcast, everybody. Thank you, LadieZee, for being with us. And I can't wait
Thank
to
you.
sign up for November 1st to be on there and listen and learn.
Can't wait
And
to see you.
yeah, all
Yeah.
right.
Thanks for joining us on Dig the Well.
We hope you feel empowered and ready to take on new challenges.
Remember, if we can do it, so can you. Keep learning, keep believing, and going after your dreams.
And if you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who needs a little inspiration or maybe a nudge in the right direction.
Help us grow this community of go-getters. Together, we can achieve greatness and get back to family.
Thanks for listening, and let's keep digging the well.